Hello everyone, back tuning in today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather next week, 10 days in today's second video. This will take us beyond the middle part of the month. I think go to around the 17th of June now with the week 10-day update. The westerlies are coming back, that's the story. So we've been fed up with all of this slack weather we've had over the past few weeks. It has been very warm and have been some big thunderstorms out of it as well, but not particularly exciting. And I know people down the East Coast have been very plagued with low cloud, mist, murk, gloom. It's not been a very nice few weeks on the East Coast with these persistent easterly winds. So all change next week. The westerlies are coming back, will provide us with a change of fortunes, which would mean eastern parts of the country between rain bands probably having reasonable amount of sunshine, and the west probably goes downhill a little bit with their sunshine totals. So I'll talk you through what's going on in a second. Going to start off with some more patrons for Gazovids. I mean, I've got some pictures to show you of lightning as well. Just say that today's first video was a look at the Download Festival, and the weather's looking really good for Download this year. So if you're off to Download, or you know somebody is and you want to know what weather's going to be doing, have a look at that and see what you think. And then tonight we're going to have the latest update for Le Mans for the Piston Heads community. So big day of updates today at website, busy day. So you're going to start off having a look at the Patreon page, of course. So been plugging in this since Monday. We launched our Gazovids Patreon page on Monday, and this is it. I'm going to leave the link in the description box here at YouTube, and also link to it on all the pages at Gazovids as well. It's simply a page where you can come and become a patron for Gazovids. So if you would like to donate a little bit of money on a monthly basis, then you just come here and you donate anything from $1 upwards, and just whatever you can afford to help us maintain the website. The website in particular does cost a little bit of money, and increasing amounts of money actually, to maintain it. Not so much YouTube channel, that just really costs time, but certainly the website does cost a little bit of money. So if you could give us a donation, become a patron for Gazovids, that would be really great. And we have got 3 more patrons that I've got to announce, because I have said that I will be giving a shout out to our patrons. So we've got Jack Simmons. Jack has become a patron for Gazovids. Also Simon Cochran has become a patron for Gazovids. And our third patron for Gazovids, I've got to try and pronounce the name correctly, is Claudio, I think it's Chiari. So Claudio Chiari has become our next patron for Gazovids. We've got 10 patrons now. Big thank you to everybody who has become a patron for Gazovids. And it's really something special that you are doing for the website and for the Gazovids team. So a big thank you to everybody who has become patrons for Gazovids, and a big thank you to those still to become patrons for Gazovids. Right, so I still got some pictures to show you. Now, this was sent through last week from Ed. So it's got a little bit waylaid with all of the updates that have been going on at the website. And also I've been getting the website set up for the GDPR thing that's just been brought in over the past couple of weeks. So I've been really busy, and this one sort of slipped my mind a little bit. So this is, I'm not sure where this is from, but if Ed's watching, he'll know that this is his picture of lightning that he saw last week. I've got a feeling this will be somewhere across the Midlands or Northern England, but not entirely certain. And again, another really cracking capture there from Ed for some lightning that was occurring in his neck of the woods last week. And then Liam from Maidstone sent this picture through. This is from last night. Now, this is a thunderstorm that was going on over 40 miles away from Liam. But he managed to capture that amazing picture of lightning within the storm clouds, within the cumulonimbus clouds. And what a spectacular picture that is. Also got another another one just there, another awesome capture of lightning, a very long way away. Of course, at night, lightning will travel a really long way when it's dark, so it often looks much closer when you see lightning flashing away than it actually is, because it travels due to the darkness a very long way. But again, you can see the lightning within that huge sort of cumulonimbus thundercloud there that, as Liam said, was 40 miles, or perhaps a bit more than 40 miles away from him. So really cracking picture there. Thank you for sending that through to Liam, and also thank to Ed for sending the pictures last week. Remember, if you want to have your weather pics featured in the videos, you can do it by emailing them to us at gazlovis@gmail.com, or sharing them on our Twitter, Facebook, social media accounts, or posting them within the comment box at Gazlovis, and we're always happy to feature the pictures when I get a chance, or either when I remember to do it. But big thank you to Liam and to Ed for sending those pictures through. Right, let's get on with some forecasting. We're going to have a look at weather next week to 10 days with Penn State University 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts. We've got the ECMWF on the top, and the GFS, which I'll look at in a moment, is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 10 feet area in the absolute high pressure, low pressure period, driven by jet stream running above. Blue extrapolates to low pressure, red and orange to high pressure. So you can see what's going on here. It's all changed. Look at this. We've got a area of below average heights to the northwest of the UK. We're bringing the black lines, which are indicating the jet stream, through the Atlantic, through the country, into Europe like that. Above average heights are being pushed down to there. That's high pressure, and over to there. So that's very much a westerlies back. We're bringing the air in from up the Atlantic there. We've got a trough of low pressure just to our northwest. That will be starting to feed in bands of wind and rain, particularly to northern and western parts of the country. And it would be a lot cooler and fresher than the weather we've been experiencing just lately. The GFS is very similar, but it's even deeper with the trough, so this looks really unsettled actually as we go into the 7 to 10 day time frame. This is a big change on what we've had over the past several weeks, with the strong Atlantic flow coming in and a deep area of below average heights to the west northwest of the country. We have got a ridge down here to the south around the Azores and into Spain and Portugal. So that's drying things out and warming things up for Spain. But for northwestern Europe, for the UK, Ireland, Scandinavia, that's a much cooler and much more unsettled situation, with the air driving in from off the Atlantic. Real changes compared to what we've had with these very slack and quiet, slow-moving weather patterns that we've experienced over the past few weeks. GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles looking like this. Looking at Northampton, just down the road from me today. The red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Northampton. Still significantly warmer than average today, and will be for the rest of the week, or weekend, and even into the start of next week. But the temperature slide is there, so we see that the temperatures are lowering and going much more towards average, so cooling down is the theme through the course of next week. As far as precipitation is concerned, a lot of dry weather coming up over the next few days, but then we have the precipitation spikes coming through from the weekend and through to next week. Looks not only cooler, but also more changeable conditions as well. Surface temperatures for Northampton are looking like this, so starting off pretty warm. These undercooked temperatures a bit, so we are actually above 20 degrees at the moment, but it's suggesting around 20 degrees. There's the slide down in the temperatures, but it's going through the course next week, going down into the upper teens Celsius. Maybe a bit of a recovery starting to appear as we go into the second half of the month. That's quite a long way off. Temperature anomalies from the 7th to the 15th of June are coming out a bit warmer than average for the UK and Ireland. Most parts of Europe coming out warmer than average as well. Precipitation anomalies looks rather wet across many parts of particularly Central Europe. For the UK and Ireland, we've got some areas that have been above average with the rainfall, some areas that are a bit drier than average. Not a particularly big deviation either way. I would expect over the next few days these will trend cooler and wetter for the UK and for Ireland. This is how the GFS is looking for Sunday then, with low pressure to our southwest, high pressure still reaching down from the north into Monday next week. Low pressure is gradually, or a trough anyway, an upper trough, is gradually beginning to develop close to the country, so that brings increasing risk of heavy showers or thunderstorms through the early part of next week. And then through the middle and second half of next week, it's a case of gradually seeing the isobars turning round into the west. So it takes quite a while to do it, but very gradually, day by day, we're beginning to pick up the westerly flow, and we're beginning to increase the jet stream as well. So by the time we get through to the end of next week, this is Friday 15th of June, we've got quite a deep area of low pressure to the west of Ireland, and we are starting to bring in some proper bands of rain from off the Atlantic and freshening winds as well. And then we go into the extended period, this takes up to day 10, with low pressure out in the Atlantic driving bands of rain in across particularly northwestern parts of the country. Notice to the south, high pressure is again trying to build from the Azores, so the Azores is trying to send up a ridge into the south with some dry and quite warm weather then, but it doesn't last all that long, very quickly flattened off by these areas of low pressure coming back in from the Atlantic. Overall, this does look a much cooler and much more changeable scenario that we've got here for the middle part of the month. This is how the ECMWF is looking finally. So again, very slack, very slow moving weather patterns on Sunday into the start of next week, an increasing risk of heavy showers and thunderstorms, especially so in the south and the east. Through the course of next week, the westerly flow is gradually increasing. For the south, actually still quite a lot of dry weather through the course of next week. We still have this ridge down across France that's keeping many southern parts of the country mostly dry, but in the north and the west, this area of low pressure would be bringing cloud and rain and freshening winds to particularly northern and western parts of the country. And over time, this westerly flow gradually picks up. So that's how we look on day 10, with low pressure again beginning to move back in from off the Atlantic. That looks a more changeable type scenario there, but we've got on day 10, 17th of June. So the broad picture remains the same as we've been talking about a lot in the video just lately. Very slack, slow moving, warm, humid and potentially thundery weather through the weekend and into the start of next week. Through next week, westerly flow picks up, so temperatures will go on a little bit of a slide, probably only going back to average. I don't think there's anything particularly cold or cool coming up, so nothing overly alarming to be concerned about, just a bit of a slide in the temperatures, and rather more changeable, and that's especially so for northern and western parts of the country. The south and the east, probably up to the end of next week anyway, not getting too much rain at all. And then where things go after that, how long this more westerly interlude lasts, we're going to have to wait and see. The models are trying to build that Azores ridge to the south again as early as day 10, so it's possible we will get out of this westerly return quite quickly. But for a while anyway, it does look a little bit cooler and a little bit more changeable. Right, this evening we're going to have the next update for Le Mans, so that's for the Piston Heads community. That will be around 7 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow, of course, it's Germain Friday, so we'll do our month-end look ahead and we'll see what the Japanese and CFS V2 models have got to say about what's going to happen, or what could happen as we go into July. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.